I told my wife to stop smiling a lot outside the house. It's now been 2 weeks and she doesn't smile at me anymore. It all started, quite innocently, with a conversation I thought would be simple. My wife, whom I had married just under a year ago, was everything I could have ever wanted. Intelligent, beautiful, caring, and just brimming with positivity. A stark contrast to me, really. I was reserved, more of a homebody, content with my quiet routines. She, on the other hand, was the kind of person who walked into a room and immediately lit it up with her laughter and her smile. She could make anyone feel like they were the most important person in the room, and I suppose that was part of the problem. I never doubted her loyalty, nor did I think for a second that she wasn't fully committed to our marriage. But there was something that had been gnawing at me for a while, a feeling I couldn't quite shake. You see, I wasn't just married to her, I was married to the way she existed in the world. She was always out, always interacting with people, always laughing, always smiling. And don't get me wrong, I adored her positivity, but it felt like her joy was being shared with everyone but me. Maybe it was selfish of me to think that way. But I couldn't help it. When we first got married, she was all mine. I had her undivided attention. But the more time passed, the more I noticed how she seemed to light up when she was out with friends, laughing with her sister, or just chatting with strangers. I found myself dreading the idea of her being out there, exposed to the world, and it bothered me in a way that I couldn't articulate at first. I work long hours from 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening, so by the time I get home, she's often wrapping up her day. She takes care of everything, cooking, cleaning, making sure everything is in order. I'd come home to my favorite meals, the house smelling like something straight out of a 5-star restaurant. She was more than a wife. She was the kind of partner who made it clear she cared with every little action. I appreciated it more than she knew. But there was something inside me, a constant unease, every time she left to meet friends or go shopping or grab coffee. I tried to ignore it for a while. But that was the issue, wasn't it? I wasn't addressing it. It wasn't until one evening when she was getting ready to go out again that the tension bubbled over. It wasn't her fault. She wasn't doing anything wrong. She was just being herself, outgoing, social, friendly. But I snapped. I asked her to stop smiling so much when she was out in public. It wasn't just her smile, but the way she carried herself. People noticed her and I was jealous. I didn't want anyone else to have that piece of her. I wanted her to reserve that joy for me, for our home, for us. It was a ridiculous request, I know. Looking back, I can see how controlling it sounded. But in the moment, all I could think about was how much I missed her being that way when she was with me. She was quiet for a long time after I said it, and then came the words I wasn't expecting. If that's how you feel, then maybe I shouldn't smile at all, not even for you. I wasn't prepared for her reaction. I didn't realize the gravity of my request until it was too late. And that's when things began to change. She stopped smiling at me. At first, I thought it was a joke, or maybe she was just upset for a day. But then it stretched into days. And then 2 weeks went by. Each day I saw her, she was still the same woman, still a wonderful wife in every other way. She cooked, she cleaned, she did everything with the same level of care. But there was this cold distance between us. She'd laugh on the phone, her voice would light up when she spoke to her friends, but when I was around, nothing. Not even a hint of the warmth she used to offer so freely. She stopped engaging with me the way she used to. We sat across from each other at dinner and there was a barrier. I didn't know how to break through. She'd tell me that my attitude was unattractive, that she couldn't stand how I was trying to control her. She said my insecurity was suffocating, and she wasn't sure how to feel about me anymore. I tried to explain myself, but every time I spoke, it felt like I was digging a deeper hole. What had I done? I had asked for something that, in hindsight, was impossible. I wanted to control her essence, her spirit. I thought I could tame it, make her stay within the confines of our home, but it only pushed her further away. It wasn't just about the smiles anymore. It was about trust, about control, about the dynamics of our relationship. I was still working long hours, and in the few moments we had together, I felt this deep discomfort. I could see her pulling back, not just in her smile, but in her interactions with me. It wasn't just that she wasn't smiling, it was that she had closed off. Days turned into weeks, and the distance between us grew. I started to wonder if I had made a mistake, if my insecurities were driving her away. But even as I thought that, I couldn't let go of the feeling that I needed her to be less out there in the world. That I needed her for myself in some selfish way. I couldn't stop her from going out. She was an adult, and she had every right to live her life as she chose. But the way she moved, the way she interacted with the world made me feel small. Made me feel insignificant. She continued to go out, but I couldn't go with her. I had tried in the past to suggest we do things together, but she resisted. She needed space, time with her friends, time to be herself without the weight of my demands. I began to feel trapped. How could I fix this? I had started the chain of events, but I didn't know how to undo them. It seemed like every move I made was the wrong one. I was terrified that if I didn't fix this, I would lose her. My marriage was unraveling, and all I could do was watch it happen.